Hello, forever friends and family. I would like to welcome everybody to webinar, and the title for this webinar is up front of your screen, Jimmy the Butcher Smith. Helen, please confirm that you could hear me and you could see the picture of the Jimmys on the screen.
Yes, I do, Alex, and I see the picture.
Excellent, thank you. Well, I am very glad that I was able to arrange this training with all this information, and I am absolutely prepared with everything, because he is a very simple number one distributor out of forever in my 17 years plus journey with forever. When we are going to read his story, you will understand my excitement and my respect to this person. I met him in a double quotes first time in a network marketing magazine. Then Eric Worre had an interview with him in 2013, and we are going to watch part one of this interview with Jimmy Smith. But I just would like to read the title at the beginning of this article. We're going to read about Jimmy, and then we're going to watch the video. Jimmy the Butcher Smith. From butcher to network marketing billionaire, question mark. Maybe it's not too far a stretch for Jimmy Smith. It's an isogenic number one money earner. I would be willing to bet one of the former butcher who said, I can do this. So we're going to read today 22 pages. It's not mandatory to read the whole thing, but we're going to read as much as we can. And in the meantime, let me share with you video interview with Eric Worre. And I have to tell you ahead of time that the quality of the sound is not really high quality, but we're going to watch it. Then I prepare some file for you to share. Helen, please confirm that you could see Eric Worre on the screen, and I am going to share right now.
For now, I see only Jimmy Smith. Now, yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
This is Eric Worre, and welcome to NetworkMarketingPro.com. I'm here with one of the other legends in network marketing, a gentleman by the name of Jimmy Smith. How you doing, Jimmy?
I am doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing good. We've been trying to do this. My friend Jay Colburn's been trying to get us to do this interview for a couple of years now.
At least three.
He's been harassing you. He's been harassing me. But I think he's doing it because he knows what kind of value your story is going to be able to bring to people. What I'd like to find out from you, let's start with the beginning, or excuse me, the end. How much have you earned in total in the network marketing profession?
Well, that's very interesting. And I started in network marketing at age 62. And from age 62 to 67, for 5 years, I didn't make a dime. I lost money. I went back.
Wow.
From age 67 to 74, I made about maybe $1.5 million, $2 million total, but I put it all back in the business. And then from age 74 to 85, which I am now, I finally arrived. I got it, and for $36.7 million.
So, first of all, started at age 62.
I found the industry at 62.
Found the network marketing profession at 62. So, what were you doing prior to that?
I was a butcher for 40 years for a large chain store. I worked for that company from age 16 to 56. And at age 56 in 1983, I was forced to retire with a very, very orthopedic back. They told me if I continued to cut meat, I could end up in a wheelchair. I laid in the hospital for 14 days, couldn't walk. And they wanted to operate on my spine and that would let me because I had a friend that had been experienced. So when Ronald Reagan was taking blind people off Social Security, my company gave me full benefits. Social Security gave me full benefits. At age 56, I was fully retired.
So people would say, you know, hey, the demographic recruit is younger than 62. But in your case, that would have been a really bad mistake to assume that, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, so.
I would think so. They told me, my company told me, Jimmy, you served us well. Go find a new career.
How did you find network marketing? You know, you had to have opinions about it over the course of your
I
life.
had a very bad connotation of network marketing. Like so many other people, I thought it was a pyramid scheme. I didn't know anybody that ever made money. I knew a lot of people that did airway and tracking. I didn't know anybody that made a lot of money. And so I had a good friend that I did a real special favor for. And he called me up one night and said, Jimmy, I want to take you to a meeting. I said, what kind of meeting? He said, opportunity. I said, for what? He said, network marketing. I said, what is that? So he said, look, trust me, just come. So I went to that meeting and it was NSA water filters. And, you know, the guys in the front.
That's where I got my start. What year was this?
That was 1989.
88.
You're kidding me.
88.
NSA?
Yeah. My upline with Lou Prescott and Jeff Schlegel and Jeff Rivera, and those guys. Yeah. So, wow. We both got started at the same spot. So then that company was hot right then.
It was, but I don't know what it was. I seen something that didn't fit right with me. They told me you would buy. The person called me up and told me that they got in a new business and they put $25,000 for the water filters. And the next month they got a rebate check for $12,500. And that didn't sit right because
That was back in the days when people were, the startup was $5,000.
15, 20.
Yeah, 15,000, 25,000, big packages, not like it is today.
No.
And I'm glad that the profession's changed, gotten away from all that too.
Yeah, absolutely. But the guy that invited me to the meeting, he gave me a video called the Don Fay and Apple presentation.
Sure.
It was like an hour and 45 minutes, and I took it home and I watched it over and over again. And something popped out. I got the numbers. I got the geometric progression numbers. I was fascinated with that, and that's what kept me in the game.
Okay. Helen, please confirm that you could hear me, please.
Yes, I do hear you.
Okay, very good. Now I understand that it was not a clear sound at all, correct?
Correct. Mhm.
And I prefer some file because numbers don't lie. I love this expression. And I prepare some numbers for us. Can you see the numbers?
Yes.
Okay, let me make some kind of, I'm joking, of course, translation from poor sound to numbers. So he started business at age of 62. From 62 to 67, he made zero. He did not even make a dime, as he mentioned in his interview with Eric Worre. From 67 to 74, he made 1.5 million to about $2 million for 7 years. All right? And from 74 to 85, he was 85 during this interview in 2013 with Eric Worre, he made $36,700,000. Huge and impressive number, correct?
Sure.
Now, you know, I would like to play with the numbers, so I have some surprise for you. So he earned from 74 to 85, $36.7 million, right? So I did a simple math. I divide $36,700,000 divide by 11 years. So he was making on average every year over $3 million. $3,336,363.66 per year. Very, very impressive number, right?
Yeah.
But it's not everything. I did more math. Now what this? Or I divide annual amount of money he made. I divided by 12 months and it was $278,030.303 per month. I did not stop here. I did not stop here per month, right? Or I divide 278,000, this number, and I divide it by 30 days. So he was making $9,267.676 per day. Or I did not stop here. I hope you enjoyed the numbers, guys. I divide this number and I try to estimate. Okay, let's assume that he was working 30 days, 8 hours every day, no day off, just straight 30 days, 8 hours. So on an hourly basis, he generate $1,158.59. Okay, now I would like to hear anything from you. What do you think? Please unmute your microphone and speak up.
Nice,
Anybody?
nice, comfortable amount of money.
Just a comfortable amount of money. Very nice. It's impressed me very much. Anybody else?
Alex.
Go ahead, Iris.
No, I think the best kicker for this one is he started at 67 and then from 74 to 85. A lot of people stop doing anything at that age. They're like done with their life. They're just rolling off. But he still made this 36 million in the 11 years that he is doing network marketing. So it's not over until it's over. So I think that's what it is. So, and you can still bring home the trophy at any age. So this is a very great example. Inspiring.
Thank you, Iris. Thank you, Helen. Anybody else would like to share your thoughts? Nadia Ettinger, go ahead.
Yes, hello everybody. I just really impressed, and I was impressed when I was watching this interview those days when Eric Worre was interviewing him, and I was just completely impressed about Jimmy, how like from person who was almost disabled and he didn't know anything, and to get those results, $1,158 per hour. It's really impressive because not so many, like from even lawyers, because I'm working in accounting department. $350, $500 per hour, they happy to get those money. And he is like eight hours, like 8 days, like Alex calculated. No, this is like really something that we need to look in it. And I know that Alex not once only was bringing to our attention how he talking to people and what he's telling them, like really looking forward to listen on those 22 pages. No, this is something really special person. We definitely need to look at it. Thank you so much, Alex, to bringing it up.
You're very welcome. And next is Zoya. Please unmute your microphone and speak up.
For me, what is interesting that for 5 first years, he didn't get any profit and he wasn't disappointed and he didn't give up. And then when he tasted the taste of millions, then he started like growing the numbers. So it's interesting that for 5 years, he didn't have any profit and he didn't give up. So congratulations to him.
Unbelievable. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Zoya, very much. Gennady, Lyudmila Semenchik, please go ahead.
Good evening. The previous ladies took off my words before, but anytime, anyway, when I heard this first time, I just come back and I thought probably I don't understand the age or something wrong. And I heard it 3 times before I understand what's going on. It's true. For disabled person is 62, start from 0 and go ahead and do what he's doing. It's unbelievable. And for me, it's surprise that person didn't know anything. Definitely start with 0, even below 0 because he was disabled. And after short period of time, because in that age, time is running very quickly, he became a millionaire. It's unbelievable. I am very impressed and very proud that I know this person and this person exists. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so, but numbers up front of you guys, it's unbelievable, right? It's just unbelievable numbers. And we are going to read his story right now. And you will be impressed even more. I know his story. We discussed it a while ago. It's super impressive, and you will understand my excitement that why I said that he is a #1 out of forever for me. Okay, let's do something next. Hold on for a second, please. And I would like to ask to read my friend and partner from Brooklyn, manager Helen Osipov, and let me know that you could see my screen, please, before you read.
Sure, I see picture of Jimmy Smith and the text.
Okay, please go ahead. At age of 78, please go ahead.
At age 78, you're a font of wisdom, Jimmy. Maybe we could start by having you share a bit of your background. Well, I was born the son of a butcher. My father was a butcher and his father was a butcher. As a young fellow, I loved sports. Then I found girls and I liked girls a lot. My mother wanted me to go to college, get an education and be successful. My father wanted me to become a butcher. So I had to make a decision. As that young man, my father said to me, "Let me tell you something. You come down to the butcher shop and let me show you how to cut meat, and you will have a job for the rest of your life." I worked all through the last depression. I had the butcher shop and I had college educated men working for me because they couldn't find a job. The last thing people are going to stop doing in this world is eating meat. People are going to eat meat until they die. In those days, you built your meal around the meat. So he said, "I guarantee you, kid, you become a butcher and you will have a job to the rest of your life." And I said, "Okay, I'll become a butcher." I respected my dad, I loved him, and I looked up to him. That meant I won't have to study too much because I knew what I was going to be, right? So I graduated from high school just to please my mother. And right after I graduated, I went down to the butcher shop. And I loved it. I enjoyed it like my dad enjoyed it. He was very passionate about it, and I became very passionate in what I did. So I did it for 40 years. Now, I did have a job. I never missed a paycheck for 40 years, but my father didn't tell me how hard I was going to work, how little I was going to make. And he didn't tell me I was going to end up getting arthritis of the spine. So there were hidden things that I didn't see. But I loved my work and I did it with a passion. I wanted to be the best butcher on the block. And that's what I strive to be. I ended up working for a big chain store. I was the meat manager and I was very proud of that. I cut a good stock of meat every week, made money every week, and ended up being promoted to meat supervisor. I worked for that same company for almost 30 years until I was 56. Then, in 1983, I hurt my back for the last time. I used to hurt my back about once a month because I was a little guy doing a big guy's job. In those days, I weighed 150 pounds. Lifting those carcasses of meat that weighed more than me sent me to the chiropractor all the time. But in 1983, I hurt my back pretty bad. I laid in the hospital for 14 days and they wanted to operate, but I wouldn't let them. The company gave me a full pension. That was in 1983 when President Reagan was taking blind people off of Social Security. But I got full disability because the back injury was that bad. So here I was at age 56. All I had ever done was cut meat. I don't have an education, and they tell me, "Go find a new career. Thank you, you served us well."
Helen, hold on for a second, please. Can you imagine the man at the age of 56 out to work who used to work for 40 years, do his job, and now nothing is his hands except that he had super valuable experience, which he could not use it as a butcher, right?
Mhm.
It's unbelievable. And he has a family. We will read more about his story later on. Now back to his father, who wished for him very, very best, right? That's why he insisted that you should be the butcher and you will have a job for the rest of your life, because his father was a butcher too.
Mhm.
Please go ahead.
Sure. Well, without an education, there wasn't a whole lot out there. My wife even suggested that I get a job as a school crossing guard. I'd raised 6 kids and I thought, I'm not going to stand out at the corner in the rain and cold crossing somebody else's kids across the street. There is nothing wrong with that. It's just not something I wanted to do. You know, I raised 6 kids, educated them. I sent them to private schools. I was just over broke for 40 years cutting meat. I never, ever made over $20,000 a year cutting meat. I raised those kids on bare minimum, so I know what just overbroke is to experience. Now, my kids have told me they thought we were rich. I don't know how they figured that, but we didn't want for anything. We had a nice house, nice furniture, nice clothes, a nice car, and of course we ate well, with all good cuts of meat. We had a good life, but there I was at age 56, too young to retire, so I started looking around. 6 years later, 1989, at age 62, I stumbled on network marketing. I was fascinated by it. The first meeting I went to, I wasn't too crazy about the product that they had. I wasn't too crazy about the comp plan they had either. And at that time, I didn't even know how any of this worked, but something didn't feel right about it. Jimmy, did someone invite you to that meeting, or how did you happen to find yourself at a meeting? Oh yes, a dear friend invited me to an opportunity meeting. I didn't know what that meant, so I said, an opportunity for what? And he just told me I should come and see this information about an opportunity to get into my own business. I said, oh, really? And he said, yeah, you need to see this. People are making a lot of money. It's network marketing. And I told him I didn't know what the term network marketing meant. So I went to this meeting, which was for NSA water filters. The guys in the front of the room were really sharp guys. They did a nice presentation. They did the numbers on the board. Get 5 people and they get 5 people and they get 5 people. And for the first time in my life, I saw the geometric progression of numbers. At that meeting, a guy gave me a video called the Don't Fail a Napkin presentation. That video changed my life. I watched that video over and over, and on that video, Don Faila, who is still out there in the industry, was standing in the front of a room in his Hawaiian shirt with a whiteboard showing that geometric progression of numbers. You know how you get 5 people in your first level and help them get 5 people, so you now have 25 people on your second level, and they get 5, so you now have 125 on your third level, and so on. Those numbers get big so fast, and I thought, wow, that's awesome. That's powerful. I never saw that before, and when he started talking about the percentage of the people spending 100 a month of a product, and you receiving a percentage of that, how it could add up real fast, it just made sense, and it was so powerful.
Helen, hold on for a second, please. Thank you for your reading. Take a break, please. And I would like to ask Zoya Sergey, friend and partner from Brooklyn, New York. Please, Zoya, continue.
Okay. Just a second. I watched it over and over until I really got the numbers down. What I did was learn the mathematics of network marketing before I really knew anything about the industry. So I joined that company, although something didn't feel quite right about it, so I never really did anything with it. Several months later, a friend of mine in Montreal, Canada, calls me and says she's studying a network marketing company. So they flew me up there to see the warehouse and everything, and I joined that company. I spent 15,000 on water filters, and I was going to be a national director of the United States because they were just entering into the US. So I bought all the water filters and had a big kick-off event. The president of the company came down, and the regional vice president from Canada came down. I had 150 people in the room, had supplied coffee and tea. I didn't know what I was doing, but I did it anyway. I didn't even understand the plan, but it all looked good to me. So I had this big kickoff, and 15 people joined right away. 3 months later, the company went bankrupt. The first check for $3,000 bounced. So here I am with $15,000 worth of water filters, and I'm still excited about the network marketing. My wife asked me how I could possibly still be optimistic when she felt like network marketing had just stolen $15,000 from us.
Zoe, hold
I
on
said,
for 1 second, please. Please forgive me, everybody, for interruption. But can you imagine how he felt when his wife mentioned, how can you be so excited about the network marketing? They just stole from us, from a family, 15 grand. Just crazy. Please go ahead.
I said, look, I know the numbers. I'm going to make 10 times that amount. I just have to find the right company and the right product. I get the numbers and I know this will work. And I know this will work. Incidentally, my kids and everyone I knew got water filters for Christmas and many other occasions. I was new at the game, but I absolutely knew it would work. But I learned a little lesson: not to join a startup company until it's proven itself. It was just part of the learning curve for me. That's an interesting statement, Jimmy. You wouldn't join a new company until it's proven itself. What kinds of things would you look for that would prove it? That's a can't find the text. I can't find the text. That's a really good question.
That's a really good question. Yes, go ahead.
That's a really good question. And I've heard people say that over the years. Don't join a new startup company. But then, as the years went by and I saw more in the industry, I've seen that when people join a brand new company early on and they make it, they usually make a lot of money. A few years back, I missed an opportunity. I was in the company and making $5,000 a week, and I was very happy. But I had a couple of guys in my downline who were not doing too well. They left and went to a new startup company that happened to make it big. Those guys made almost $1 million their first year, and their second year they made over $1 million. They had invited me to go with them. They wanted me in the downline, but I said no thanks. I was happy where I was at, making 4,000 or 5,000 a week. They wanted to put me in the organization and build under me because they figured when I made money, they knew what I would do. And I made a mistake. I didn't go with them and I ended up leaving the company I was with anyway. Had I gone with them, I probably would have been right up there with them. But that's hindsight and another lesson learned. And I also realized now that I was probably supposed to stay where I was until Isagenix came along. A lot of things happened between my first experience with the water filters And finally, isogenics. A lot of companies, a lot of people, and a lot of things went on. I don't know where to read.
But it sounds like
But it sounds like after your experience cutting meat, you found network marketing, and even before isogenics, you found success. What do you think has been a key to your success? Well, one thing in the meat business my father taught me well. He had a sign in the butcher shop that said, "We cannot afford to have even one dissatisfied customer."
it took.
I took,
Go ahead.
I took that sign with me when I left to work for the chain store. When I started, there wasn't any such thing as service, where people choose their meat already cut and wrapped in cellophane. I cut their meat to order as they ordered it. Even when meat went service, I took that sign with me and hung it up wherever I was in the service window, and I told my butchers to read that sign before they waited on every customer. My father said to me, "Kid, I can get all the butchers I want. Not so with the customers. The customer is more important than the butcher. If you don't take care of my customers, you are not going to be here." I learned early on about the sovereignty of the customer. The customer is always right. So I brought that into network marketing. I believe my downline is the most important thing in my business. Taking care of and treating my downline right is vital. Treating them like they're a precious pearl, which they are. The Bible says, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." And my creed is in network marketing is, do unto your downline.
Zoya, hold on for a second. Thank you for your reading very much. Thank you. And I would like to ask Iris Christopher, the most reliable manager from New Jersey. Please continue to read, Iris. Zoya, thank you again.
Do unto your downline as you would have your upline do unto you. And ask not what your upline can do for you, but ask rather what you can do for your downline. That is my creed. I live by that, and that's why I believe I'm successful. So that would be your main key. What would you say are some other things that you have developed that have put you on your path that led to the success you've had, and what would you suggest to others? Everybody look at things through a different pair of eyes, right? We all have our own perception of what's good and what's bad. There is no such thing as bad or good. It's all in the way you perceive things. And in network marketing, what I perceive from day one, when I first saw the genealogy tree where you build under you, I said to myself, network marketing is democracy in its finest form. Network marketing is people empowering people, people helping people. And one of the things I realize, and it's very important to realize in this industry, if my people don't make money, I don't make money. Now, because of that, in my company, Isagenix, of the top 25 in the company, 5 are in my direct upline and 13 are in my direct downline. That's probably the thing I am most proud of. Among those leaders, 2 of the top earners in the company are my daughters, Kathy, who is number 4 in the company, and Grace, who is around number 8. I feel very, very proud of that, and I'm proud of All the others that are on the top 25 earners, they are the directly or indirectly because of me. This is how I always believe it could be. This is how I want it to be. Someday, out of the top 100 earners, I want 75 of them to be in my downline. That's what I'm working toward. It's not about me. It's about my downline. I'd love it if all network marketers would learn that. It's not about you. It's about your downline. You're only good as the people in your organization, so it behooves you to share everything you have with them. All of your information. I would never sell information to my downline. I give it to them. I have a website, www.jimmysmithvision.com, and they can go in there and download all my stuff, and it's free. Whatever I have, I'm making it better and better all the time, so people can have it all. The key to success in network marketing is when you get what's in your head into the heads of all your people. If they understood the mathematics of network marketing as clearly as I do, every single person will be in here. They wouldn't do anything else. I can't imagine doing anything else. In less than 4 years, I've been able to generate over 5 million in commissions to the tune of 70,000 a week. Where else could a retired 78-year-old butcher even dream or think of doing that except in network marketing? It's the greatest kept secret in the free world. The problem out there is that there's preconceived opinion, and it's the wrong one. Too many people think it's a bad thing. They may have been justified in that at one time because there were too many comp plans that were so convoluted that it was too hard to understand them. Nevertheless, explain them. If you don't understand your comp plan, you can work it effectively. Until you understand, I understood the mathematics of network marketing clearly from day one. I knew intuitively that when I found the right company with the right products and the right compensation plan, that I couldn't miss. I could not fail. I get on conference call from my distributors who want me to explain how I am building the business. And what I've done in this company is the numbers and teaching them to people. I'm currently number 1 in the company, and my last re-entry is number 47 in the top 100, and it will climb each month. Sometimes it boggles my mind too, but I think it's the law of reciprocity. It seems the more I give, the more I get. That's what it boils down to. My game plan was to make so much money, I can't spend it fast enough. So I keep spending, giving it away, and it keeps coming back greater. It works the same way building a business full of people. The more people you're willing to share with, the more your business grows. Today, I'm picking 130 people every day, and most of them I don't even know. A long time ago, I read that someday your downline, your legs will have a life of their own, and they will run away without you. It happens. Believe it and keep reading the stories. So who
Iris, hold on for a second. Thank you for your reading very much. And I would like to ask to continue to read my friend and partner from Brooklyn, Isaac Gelbinovich. Isaac, please go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. So what has inspired you since you began your work with network marketing to give you this insight? Well, when I discovered there were no more companies in network marketing than that first water filter one that I had heard about, I started learning that there were many different companies and many different compensation plans, as well as many different products being marketed this way. So I began what I call my network marketing education. I became a research engineer of network marketing. I was joining different companies, getting their videos and trying their products. I felt certain that I would learn enough so that I could choose the best opportunity. So I joined a lot of companies and learned a lot along the way. I learned a lot about compensation plans. I had a lot of good sponsors along the way. If I found something that I didn't feel my values or principles of it, if my people were unable to follow me, then the research would go on. I just kept going from company to company. In the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was picking up this quickly. With every company I joined, I learned things. Finally, with one company, I was making 5,000 a month, and I walked away from that. And then in another company, I was making 30,000 a month. And at the age of 74, I walked away from that to go with a company where today my family is making over 300,000 a month. Over 100,000 of that on my own, which I'd say in less than 4 years mission accomplished. I would say the butcher have arrived. And in terms of your arriving, I'd say so you're 78 years old, you look like you're 60, and you have the energy of a 30 years old. So Jimmy, is there hope in network marketing for the seniors or out there? Oh, I'd say sure, say yes, say so. I didn't find network marketing until I was 62. So for 5 years, I didn't make any money at all. I went bankrupt. Well, here's how strong my belief was. I was on a pension when I went bankrupt. My pension was paying my mortgage, my car payment, and my utility bills. My pension was carrying me. I was doing network marketing as a side job with credit cards, and I was balancing the books pretty well. In other words, I was making enough to pay for my credit cards. And then I did things, including buying a Mercedes-Benz, and we ended up having to file for bankruptcy. And when we were finishing up the bankruptcy, I ended up prospecting the attorney. My wife and I got outside and she said, I can't believe what you just did. You just prospected the attorney who helped us file bankruptcy. He must think you're crazy. I said, I don't care what he thinks. I meant what I said. This is just a little bump in the road. One day I'll make more than him and everyone in his office makes combined. I believe that. I really did. And today I probably do more, make more, and with the less effort. I could see that he was a very successful man, but I meant it when I told him I thought he was doing in the hard way and that I could show him an easier, softer way. Now, it may have seemed crazy for me to say those things at the time, but that's where my belief was and it paid off. I'm convinced your success in any endeavor depends on your belief level. It's all about belief level. And look where it got me. And where did I get that belief level? I got it by reading the stories of those who were successful before me in network marketing. When I got my Upline magazine, I used to read it from cover to cover, and then I would hang onto it and read the stories I liked over and over again. I remember reading about a guy named Richard Brook, who used to cut up chicken in a chicken factory, and he went into network marketing and became very successful. That was really inspiring to me. I read all the stories of those people and went before me in network marketing and became successful. Those stories drove me. A lot of times when I was discouraged and down because my business wasn't growing or I was getting too much rejection, deception, or attrition, my magazine would come and it would bring me back. It really kept me in the game. That's why when I have new people sign up, I get them to read the books and articles. Think and Grow Rich is a must read for everybody. If I don't read that 10 times a year, there is something wrong. I listen to the Earl Nightingale a tape every night for probably 2 years to get it into my subconscious mind. It was a long process for me, but I didn't quit. I say to people, there are 3 things that will kill you in this business or in life in general: pride, impatience, and greed. Even just one of 2 of them will hurt you. But if you have all 3, well, that spells PIG, and that's trouble. All of these things I learned as a result of reading all those articles and books and listening to tapes. All of the things I have inside my head come from reading, including motivational stuff. When I first decided to get into network marketing and I listened to those guys in the front of the room, I thought, well, I guess I'm going to be speaking in front of the room. And that thought terrified me. I was okay with people one-on-one, but the thought of speaking to a group of people was my greatest fear. So I found out about a guy called Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy. Years ago, I had noticed there was going to be a seminar locally, and Zig Ziglar was going to be speaking, and Brian Tracy was going to be following him. And I thought, wow, I know who those guys are. They're motivational speakers. So I went to my first motivational seminar, and it was $90.
Okay, Isaac, take a break. I believe we completed our webinar today. We are like in the 50% of all information we read. I would like to say thank you all readers. And if we would like to start a conversation, what we just read, and exchange our opinion, I believe it would be absolutely priceless for us. Who are going to speak up first? Who are volunteers?
Okay, I could go first.
Go ahead, Iris.
Reading his experience, it's enough for anybody to give up. Imagine working on only on his pension, and then the rest is paying credit card because he bought into the network marketing, and it's not the right company, and he, instead of making money, he owed $15,000 of water filters, which he gifted to everyone. But I mean, that would be like enough to send anybody away from network marketing. But I think because of his reading the books over and over, like what you're doing to us, like digesting it and reading it over and over, it strengthens his belief that his time will come. And then he's among the top earner in the company that he has, including his family. So I think it's a very good lesson for all of us that you're sharing this Mr. Butcher, Jimmy.
Thank you, Iris, very much. Thanks a lot. I hope that you understand why he is a number one for me out of forever.
Yes, I understand.
And I advise everybody, it's very easy to find on YouTube, Eric Worre and Jimmy Smith, I'm sorry, Eric Worre, Jimmy Smith, and you would be able to watch it on your own, part number 1, part number 2, and number 3. And if you would not find, call me, I will help you out. I'm not talking about Iris, I'm advise everybody. Anybody else would like to share your opinion or express yourself? And that's another subject for conversation, because people don't want to talk. Like Jimmy Stewart, you are afraid to talk. Nadia, please go ahead.
First of all, I wanted to say thank you so much, guys, for reading for us. This is impressive articles. And to tell you the truth, really, it is such a great priceless example I just don't know why we didn't come to this before, because really I myself, I would like to watch now again the interview, look on it, and really even see this like Jimmy and talking about his experience, how he got to this before, didn't know anything. I think like for me, it's something outstanding. I'm sure you too have the same impression. And it's just like no words to tell. We have everything, and he has nothing, and went to this like on top of people, like top of success. Really, like maybe everybody like me, we even cannot impress what we just learn about Jimmy Smith. Yes, again, thank you so much, everybody. And really looking forward to read and listen, and just to give myself like to tell you what are you doing in your life, Nadia. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody.
Okay, thank you, Nadia. Anybody else? Okay, I did not see any volunteers, so this webinar is over for today. Thank you all readers, Helen, Zoya, Iris, and Isaac, and we'll talk next Monday. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night.